Welcome to Solidworks. In this lesson, we'll show you how to make a UV water purifier or ultraviolet light. Okay, let's start by creating a new sketch and opening a new document. Select the part and select OK. Go to the top plane and open a new sketch. Select Circle tool and let's draw a circle from the origin. Okay, now let's smart dimension this circle. For diameter, type 70 millimeters. Go to isometric view and exit the sketch. Go to extrude boss base. For the depth, type 80 millimeters and select OK. Now let's add a fillet. For the fillet radius, type 5 millimeters and select this edge here and select OK. Go to the shell feature. In parameter, for thickness, type 2 millimeters. Select show preview and select this face here and select OK. Okay. Now go to the right plane. But before that, let's open a new sketch. Select this face here and let's open a new sketch. Select circle and from origin let's draw a circle about here. Okay, now let's smart dimension the circle and type 69.5 millimeters. Okay, now go to surface tab and select curves and go to helix and spiral. Go to the right plane. Okay, select variable pitch and pitch and revolution. Okay, select reverse direction checkbox and for set angle type 0. Okay, now in parameters, for the pitch type 5. For diameter type 69 in the second row. Okay, and also here type 5. Now looks good. Okay, and let's select OK to accept. Now we have our spiral. Go to the right plane. Now let's draw a sketch. Select the right plane and open a new sketch. Let's draw a circle. Let's smart dimension the circle. Type 1 millimeter in diameter. Now let's draw a line from this point here to this point here. Okay, let's trim. Select trim entities tool and trim this side of the circle and select OK. Now select this point and this helix holding Control and add make piers. Okay, looks good. Now go to the Futures tab and let's exit the sketch. Select Squid Balls Base command, and for the profile select this sketch number 3, and for the path select the helix. Okay, now we see the preview and select OK. Let's edit this feature. To edit, Option, and select Keep Normal Constant, and select OK. Let's edit the helix. And let's in here second revolution. OK. Now looks good, and select OK. Now we have our thread. OK, go to isometric view. And let's add material. Select material, edit material, and find plastics, and select acrylic medium high impact. OK, to apply and close. Looks good. Now let's save this part. File, Save As, UV Water Purifier, and for file name type container. And let's save. Okay. Now we are going to use this part to create another one, and that would be a cap for this container. Okay. Select this face here and select plane. For the distance, type 2 millimeters. Okay, and select OK. Let's open a new sketch on this plane and go to normal to view. Select circle and find the origin, and let's draw a circle. Now let's smart dimension this circle. For dimension, type 72 millimeters. Go to isometric view and go to the features and let's extrude. Deselect merge result checkbox and let's change direction, select reverse direction, and for the depth type 15 millimeters and select OK. Let's hide this plane. Now go to the fillet command and for the radius type 5 millimeters and select this edge here. Select let's create this radius smaller. Let's type 2 millimeters. That looks better. OK. And let's select OK. Now let's save this part. File, save as, type cap. OK. Now select the mold tools tab. If you don't have a mold tools tab, you can select either of these tabs, clicking on your right mouse button and open the mold tools tab. OK. Now select combine. For the operation type, we are going to select the subtract. For main body, we are going to select this cap. For the bodies to subtract, we are going to select this container. And let's select OK. Now we have our container gone and we have our thread inside this cap. Okay, let's look good. Now select this face here and open a new sketch. Select again this face and let's convert entities. Select OK. Go to the Features tab and select Extruded Cut command. For the extruded end condition, select up to surface, and for the surface, select this surface here and select OK. Now it looks good. Let's rebuild and let's save this part again. OK. Now let's select this face and open the new sketch. Go to Normal Tool View. Let's draw a center line from the origin point. OK. And let's draw a circle. Let's Smart Dimension. Type for diameter 3.5 millimeters. And let's select this circle and hold Control and select this circle here. And select Make Equal. Now let's select this point and holding Control select this point and select this point and select Make Horizontal. Now select this circle, holding Control select this axis and select this circle here and make symmetric. OK. Now let's create a dimension. Select Smart Dimension and type 30 millimeters. OK. Now the sketch is fully defined. Go to Isometric View and let's go to the Features tab and select Extruded Cut. OK. You can type here 10 millimeters and select OK. We created a hole. Looks good. Let's rebuild this part and let's save. Now let's open a new part. Select the part and OK. Select top plane and open a new sketch. Let's draw a rectangle. Select corner rectangle tool, and for the rectangle type, select center rectangle. Find the origin and let's draw a rectangle. Let's smart dimension. Let's type 40 millimeters, and for this vertical dimension, type 25 millimeters. OK. Go to isometric view and let's exit the sketch. Select extrude boss base command and go to zoom to fit. Select for the depth, type 55 millimeters. Go to zoom to fit and select OK. Now let's select this top face here and open a new sketch. Go to normal to view. Now let's draw a center line. OK. And let's draw a circle. Now let's smart dimension. Type 4 millimeters in diameter, and also this one 4 millimeters in diameter. Let's select this point, and this point, holding Control, of course, and make horizontal. Now let's smart dimension. From this point to this axis, type 10 millimeter, and also 10 millimeter between this point and this second circle. OK. Now go to isometric view and go to the Features tab and select Extrude Boss Base. For the depth type 2 millimeters and select OK. Now let's add some fillets. Type 1 millimeter fillet on this edge here and this edge here. Also on this edge and this edge. And select OK. Now it looks good. OK. Now let's add another fillet. Here, 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 and here. OK, and select OK. Select this face and open a new sketch. Go to normal to view and let's draw a line right about here. OK. Now exit the sketch and go to the Surface tab. In the surface, find Curves and Split Line command. Select Split Line. For type of split, select Intersection or Projection, better. For the selection, select Sketch 3, and for the faces to split, select this face, this face, this face, this fillet face also, this, and this. OK, and select OK. Now we have splitted our faces. Now looks good. OK. Now let's add some colors. Select this face and let's add appearances. Select face and select this color here. Now let's select add another faces here. Looks good. Select OK. Now let's select this face here and let's add appearances. Select face and for select geometry select faces. Okay, we have select face 1 and select this color here. Select this face, this face, this face, this face, and also this face. Okay, go to the isometric view and select OK. Now let's select this face and also add the appearances. Select this color here and these faces. Okay. Go to isometric view and select OK. Let's rebuild and let's save this part. Go to File, Save As. For the file name, type battery. And save. Now let's open a new document, new part, and select OK. Select the top plane and let's open a new sketch. Select corner rectangle tool and for the rectangle type select center rectangle. Let's draw a rectangle from origin and now let's smart dimension. Type 10 millimeters with 10 millimeters. Okay. Go to the exit sketch and go to isometric view. Select features and extrude boss base. For the depth, type 5 millimeters and select OK. Now select this face and let's open a new sketch. Go to normal tool view, select circle and let's draw a circle. Now let's smart dimension the circle. Type 3.5 millimeters in diameter. Okay. Go to the features and let's extrude boss base. Select 2 millimeters or better 1.5 millimeter. Select OK. Go to the fillet command and select 1 millimeter radius fillet or 1.5. Okay, now it looks good. Go to the chamfer command and for chamfer type 0.5 millimeter for distance and 45 degrees for angle and select this edge. Okay, and this edge and select OK. Go to isometric view, rebuild. Now let's add some appearances. select this boss extrude and select boss extrude 1. Select this color and select OK. Now let's select this chamfer and go to appearances, select chamfer again and select also this color, select OK. Now let's select this fillet and go to this face 1 and face 2 and select this color here, select OK. Go to the metric view, rebuild, and let's save this part. File, save as, type switch. OK. Let's save. Now let's exit this part and also this part here and this part here. Now go to the new part and OK. Go to the top plane and let's open a new sketch. Select a circle and let's draw a circle from origin. Now let's smart dimension the circle. Type 5 millimeters for diameter. Okay, now let's draw a center line from here to here. Let's smart dimension the center line. Type 7 millimeters. Okay, and let's draw a point in the middle. Okay, select. Now go to isometric view and let's exit the sketch. Go to extrude boss base command and for the depth type 7 millimeter and select OK. Now let's select fillet command and let's add fillet. For the radius type 1.5 millimeters and select this edge here and let's select OK. Looks good. Let's go to the top view. OK. Now let's open a new sketch or add another fillet, but not yet. Okay. Now let's open a new sketch on this face here and open a new sketch. Go to normal to view. Let's draw a circle right about here. Let's smart dimension the circle. Type 0.15. Okay. And let's smart dimension. Type 1.5 millimeters. And let's add relations between this point and this point, make horizontal. Now the sketch is fully defined. And let's exit the sketch. Now let's draw another sketch on this face. Select a circle right about here. Also let's smart dimension. Type 0.15. Okay, millimeters. And let's also add relation vertical and let's smart dimension 1.5 millimeters. Okay. Now go to the boss extrude one and let's show this sketch. Okay, go to the magic view and let's add a plane. Select this point here and let's select this for the second reference. Select this line here and the plane is fully defined. Okay, now go to the top plane and let's add plane again. For the first reference point, select the front plane. For the distance, type 5 millimeters and select OK. And again, select the plane, and for the first reference, select front plane, and let's flip. OK, 5 millimeters, also distance, and select OK. Now it looks good. Now let's hide this plane here and this plane here, plane number 3, and let's open a sketch on this plane. Go to normal to view, draw a center line from this point here. Okay, now let's smart dimension, type 15 millimeters. Okay, let's draw a point right about here and let's smart dimension this point, type 0.25 millimeters, and for this distance here type 5 millimeters, and let's draw a point in this end. Okay, now it looks good. Okay, now let's exit the sketch. Oops, we need to draw this in a different side. Okay, now let's edit the sketch, go to normal to view, and let's edit. Let's start by deleting this dimension. Okay, and let's switch to the other side. Okay, now let's smart dimension and type 15 meters, and let's draw a point right about here, and now let's smart dimension 0.25. Okay, we can do it on another way or this way. We can shift this type on here, this fillet, and we have our circles right about on the bottom. So go to the front view. Okay, and let's from this, but we need this origin, so we're going to exit the sketch and do another thing. Okay, let's delete the sketch and delete these planes. We're going to do now on a different way. edit fillet. Now let's deselect and select this face here. Select OK. Now it looks good. Now let's select this face here and let's open a new sketch. Let's draw another circle like we draw before. OK. Now it looks good. Okay, go to the front plane. Now go to the plane, select this. Okay. Now let's make another plane like we did before. 5. Okay. Again. Let's flip. Okay. Let's hide this and this one, and let's open a sketch. Now let's do the same thing, but now we can see our fillets are on the upper side. Okay, and let's smart dimension 15, and let's add point, and let's smart dimension this point 1.25 millimeters, and for the distance 5 millimeters. Now we are the same like before. Okay, let's exit sketch, and now let's hide this sketch and go to the sketch tab, and let's create a 3D sketch. Select line and select this center of this circle. Now select this point here and select this bottom point here. Okay, go to normal to the front view, and it looks good, and exit the sketch. Go to the Features tab and select Sweep Below Base. For the profile, select this circle, and for the path, select this line. Okay. For path, select Keep Normal Constant, and select OK. Looks good. Now let's hide this plane here, and let's show another plane. Plane number 6. Show. Let's open a sketch on this plane also. Go to normal to view. Okay. Now let's convert entities. Okay, and let's make this construction geometry. Select a point and right about here, and let's smart dimension this point from this to this point here. Type 3 millimeters. Okay, and let's add another point right about here. Okay, let's smart dimension 3.5 millimeters. Okay, Now let's exit the sketch. Let's go to Sketch tab and let's create a 3D sketch. Select line and let's find the center point of this circle. Now let's draw a line to this point here. Go to the front view or back view, it's better. Okay, and select this point here. Make constant. Okay, let's delete these relations and let's move it right about here. Okay, let's exit the sketch and let's edit the sketch here. Add sketch and let's add point right here. Okay, oops, let's delete and exit the sketch. Go to 3D sketch. Okay, now it looks good. And let's edit the sketch. Let's hide this plane and go to the Features tab and select Sweet Boat Base. Select this circle here for the profile and also this one for the path, and let's open the options and select keep normal constant and select OK. Now it looks good. Okay, let's hide this sketch and go to the front view. Also let's hide this. Okay, and let's show this sketch 3D sketch and select plane number 5 and let's show. And now let's open a new sketch on this plane. Go to normal to view and let's draw a line. Let's draw a line from this center line from the previous sketch. Okay, okay, now let's smart dimension this line. Type 3 millimeters. Okay, and from this point to this point type 2.5 millimeters. Okay, now let's draw a circle from this point. From the circle diameter, let's type 0.5 millimeters and also right about here 0.5 millimeters. Okay, Now let's draw another circle and let's mark dimension. Type 15 millimeters in diameter and let's move it right about here. Okay. Now let's select this circle and this bigger circle and holding control and make it tangent. Also let's do that on the other side. Okay. Let's try to change this dimension on 1. No, it's better to be 0.5. Okay. Now let's trim. Okay. And let's select extend entities and let's extend this line here and extend this line to here. Okay. Now let's trim. Trim this side here, this side also, and this side also. Okay. Now let's mark dimension again from this point to this point. Okay, and this dimension here. Okay, now it looks good. Now let's exit the sketch and go to the revolve boss base. For the line axis of revolution, select this line here and select merge result and select OK. Okay, now we have our recessor from this anode. Okay, let's hide this plane and let's hide this sketch. Go to isometric view and let's save. File, save as UV LED. Save. Okay. Now let us continue. Go to fillet and 0.2 millimeters. Add fillet right about here. Okay. Now go to the plane, but before that let's open this sketch 9 in revolve future. Go to normal to view and let's add a point in the middle of this line. Okay, and let's exit the sketch. Now let's show that sketch again in revolve 1, show, and go to the plane and select this point here and this line and let's make a plane. Okay, now go to the surface and select curves and select split line. For the type of split, select intersection. For the selections, splitting bodies, faces, planes, select the plane 7. Okay, and for the faces bodies, select this face here. We can see the preview of the split and select OK. Let's hide this plane. Now we have splitting our face into. Okay. Now again let's hide this sketch 9. Okay. And let's add some appearances. Select this face here and select add appearances for this face. select this color, and for this face select this color also, and select OK. Now let's select this face here. Select this color. OK. And for this face here, select another color. This one here. Select OK. Now it looks good. OK. Let's appearance scene, appearances color. Let's select lights. Select LED, blue LED, and let's select this body, this face. Okay, let's do it again. LED, blue, fillet, face, face, and this face also. Okay, we have our blue LED. Let's auto show this LED, and let's go to the metric view, and let's go rebuild and then save. Okay, now it looks good. Now let's select the plane 4 and let's show. Go to features and select mirror command. For the mirror face plane, select plane 4 and deselect features and open bodies to mirror. For bodies to mirror, select this body here. Okay, and select OK. This looks good. Let's hide this plane. Go to the metric view, rebuild, and let's save. Now we have two UV LEDs with their resistors combined in this point here, and this is anodes and this side is cathodes. Okay, now let's continue. Now let's cancel this for now. Okay, let's open a new plane. Let's create a new plane, front plane, and let's select front plane, and for the distance type 15 millimeters. Okay, and select OK. Let's select again front plane, plane, flip, 15 millimeter distance. OK. Now let's hide plane 9 and let's open a sketch in plane 8. Go to normal to view. Okay, now let's draw a point. Draw a point right about here. Okay, and let's smart dimension. Point from here to here. Type 10 millimeters. Okay, and let's draw another point from here to here, and also let's smart dimension, and let's type let's see 60 millimeters. Okay, And let's make this 2-point vertical. Okay, and also let's make vertical with this point here. Okay, now those points are fully defined. Let's go to isometric view and let's exit the sketch. Let's hide this plane for now. Okay, and let's open a new sketch on this face here. Open a sketch and let's draw a circle from this center. Okay, let's dimension the circle and let's type 1 millimeter in diameter. Okay, and let's fix this circle. Okay, now exit the sketch and let's go to the sketch tab, select 3D sketch and select spline tool, and let's draw a spline from this center of this circle. Okay, go to the front plane and the right plane. Okay, and let's draw a spline to this point, from this point to this point here. Okay, right about here, and let's select this spline. Now let's edit this spline by selecting the spline, and let's find these arrows. Let's move it right about here. Okay, and this arrow also, make it more vertical. Okay, you see this spline handles. Now it looks good. So this one, and let's make this one here. Okay, now it looks good, and let's exit the sketch. Go to the features and go to the sweep close base. For the profile, select this circle, and for the path, select this spline. Okay, now it looks good, and select OK. Okay, now select the plane 9 and open a sketch. Go to normal to view again. Okay, okay, right about here, and let's draw a point. Right about here, let's draw a point, and right about here. Okay, select. Let's dimension this point from here, from this edge here, this edge here, 10.5. Okay, and from point to point, type 58. Okay, and let's make it vertical, and let's make it vertical with this point from the previous sketch. Okay, now the sketch is fully defined. Go to the metric view and exit the sketch. Now let's select this face here and open a new sketch. Let's draw a circle. Find the center of this face and let's draw a circle. Now let's smart dimension. For diameter, type 1 millimeter and exit the sketch. Okay, let's slightly rotate. Okay, oops, go to front view, isometric view. Now select the sketch, 3D sketch, and let's draw a spline. Go to the right view and select, hit the up arrow key on your keyboard. Okay, and select this center here, and then hit down. Okay. Okay, and let's draw a spline. This point and to this point here. Right about here, 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 and here. Okay. Now let's edit this spline by spline handles. Right about here. Okay. It looks good. And this end here also. Okay. Now let's smart dimension. Type 20 millimeters and go to the right view. Okay, looks good. Let's exit the sketch. Now let's go to Features tab and select Sweep Both Base. In the profile, select this sketch of the circle, and for the path, select this spline. OK, and select OK. Go to isometric view. Now we have our wires. OK. Now let's hide this sketch. Go to the rebuild and let's save. OK. Now let's add some colors. Select this and let's go to appearances, and for this sweep select color of the red, select OK, and for this wire select the blue, select OK. Go to isometric view, rebuild, and save. Now we have completed our UV LED with wires and resistors in one part. OK. Now let's open a new assembly. Select assembly and select OK. In assembly, select browse and select part for files of type. Now let's select container and select this button, keep visible. OK, container. Let's browse again, select cap. OK, browse, select switch. OK, browse, select battery. OK, browse and select UV LED. OK, and select OK. Now let's add some mates in this assembly. Select mate and select this face here and this face here, concentric. OK, go to front view, and let's select this edge here and this face here, and select OK. Go to the magic view and select OK. Now let's flip this. Select this part and with your right mouse button and go to move with triad. Select the center of the triad and again right mouse button and show rotate. Let's rotate it about Z axis on 180 degrees. Okay. Go to front view. Now let's rotate it again. We try it about y-axis by 90 degrees. Okay, now it looks good. Go to the top plane and let's slightly move it in this position here. Okay, go to the front plane and let's move it right about here. Okay. Let's try to mate this. Go to mate, open assembly 1 and select container. Select the front plane and now open the UV LED and select, just about to see, select up plane 4. Okay, make coincident. Now it looks good and select OK. Go to the front view. Now we can see our container with LEDs inside. Okay, and now let's move this to this position and go to front top view and move it right about here. We don't need a mate type for this. Okay, it looks good. We're adding a switch between UV LEDs and power source. It's battery on the anode. Okay, go to front plane and let's move this right about here. Okay, go to the top plane and let's move it right about here and go to the front isometric and it looks good. Go to rebuild and let's save this assembly. File, save as, type UV water purifier. UV water purifier. Okay, and let's save. Now we have completed the assembly of the UV water purifier, and let's do some rendering. Go to add-ins, options, add-ins, add photo verbs and select OK. Now go to Photoworks and select Render. Okay, now this is the end of our tutorial. Thank you and have a nice day.